Welcome back mga kaibigan, good evening at nandito na naman tayong gabi sa ating Garena Premier League 2014 Spring Season. I am BG Sphere and I'm with
Jay.
So magandang laban na naman ngayong gabi sa pagitan ng Team Manila Eagles versus the Singapore Sentinel. So bago ang lahat, Jay, pwede ba natin makita kung ating schedule for tonight's matches?
Alright, so tonight, earlier this evening at 6 p.m. we had Insidious Gaming against Saigon Jokers, followed by the second match, which was between Bangkok Titans versus the Azubu Taipei Snipers. Right now, you're gonna watch at TT Esports Manila Eagles versus the Singapore Sentinels, and later on at 9 p.m. we'll have the Neo Esports Full Lewis versus the Yo Flash Wolves.
Yes, sobrang ganda ng mga laban na mangyayari ngayon. And kanina, Insidious Gaming versus Saigon Jokers, very good matchup dito sa laban nila. But yet again, Saigon Jokers showed their dominance sa buong laban nila against the team ng Insidious Gaming. At the same time, sa laban naman dito ng Bangkok Titans versus Azubu Taipei Snipers, sobrang na-dominate din ang team ng Bangkok Titans dito. So very good job for the team Azubu Taipei Snipers, and congratulations for winning that game. And the Bangkok Titans didn't have the chance to at least get their advantage na mabawi sa buong laban dito against the team ng Azubu Taipei Snipers. So ito naman ang ating standings mga kaibigan, Jay.
Alright, so looking at the Group A standings, we have HQ in the leaderboard right now at rank 1 with 4 wins and no losses. This is no surprise as they have been a very strong team even from last season. Followed in second place and TPS currently both with 2 wins and 1 losses each. In fourth place we have ISG with 1 win and 2 losses right now. And in fifth place is BKT with 2 losses. Currently at the bottom of the standings at 6th place is Imperio Pro team.
Yes, and for the Group B mga kaibigan, let's see our standings dito. TPA having the 3 wins mga kaibigan, wala pa rin silang talo dito. And SF5 having the 3-1 score. So far, sila yung mga pangalawa sa ating standings dito. And then SGS having the 1-1 score. At the same time, you Flash Wolves having the 1-2. Neo Full Lewis, yan, 0-1. And para sa ating Manila Eagles having the 0-3 score dito.
Alright, so our match tonight will be in the Group B between the TT Esports Manila Eagles versus Singapore Sentinels. Now, for Singapore Sentinels, they definitely want this win. They want to get back on the top of the leaderboards, while TT Esports Manila Eagles definitely need this win to get to be able to catch up with the other other teams in the group right now and qualify still for the playoffs.
Yes, tignan natin kung sino yung match up natin for these two teams having MLE Chok and Chawy, SGS Chawy sa mid lane. So Chok and Chawy dito sa mid lane mangyayari dito sa laban nila sa pagitan ng Manila Eagles versus Singapore Sentinel. So far, both player dito having the good standing sa ating laban sa GPL natin. But Chawy, since before, he is an AD carry dito against the team ng for the team of SGS. So let's see kung paano nila i-sustain yung kanilang mga lanes dito and how they will dominate their matches sa mga kabilang panig dito. So far, game na tayo mga kaibigan, Team TT Esports Manila Eagles versus the Singapore Sentinels.
That's right. So on the blue side, we'll have the TT Esports Manila Eagles. And right now, their first ban will be Pantheon. Alright, so they definitely don't want to see Pantheon as he's really a good jungler lately. We've seen how Pantheon actually destroyed Imperio Pro Team yesterday.
And actually, ito yung last pinik ng Singapore Sentinels versus the team ng UM Flash Wolves, nilabanan nila. And I think it was Dan or itong si Dan na lumaban against the team ng UM Flash Wolves last time. And with the dominance of team ng SGS dito, they got the advantage throughout the game. So, possible ban from Team Manila Eagles ay si Katarina for SGS Chawy or si Jinx or let's see, possible din na iba nila si Mundo dito for Ben W, knowing na itong team ng SGS dominated their game having those tanky champions dito para sa lineup nila. So far, let's see kung sino last ba ng Team Manila Eagles versus the team ng Singapore Sentinels.
Yes, right. As of right now, SGS has 2 bans to AP champion. They're definitely protecting SGS Chawy. They want SGS Chawy to pick a comfortable AP champion on him and make sure that there won't be any hindrances to his laning phase.
Yes, like what I've said mga kaibigan, Dr. Mundo para sa last pa ng Team Manila Eagles dito, para kay Ben W and Yasuo for team ng SGS dito. So more or less champion na binan dito ng SGS, knowing that they know MLE Chok, and actually MLE Chok is playing Garena Premier League since last season dito. And I think they're aware yung power niya sa kanyang mid carry dito para sa team ng MLE. So far, banning Kassadin, Yasuo, and Nidalee. I think Yasuo is a champion na binan nila to secure yung kanilang laning phase dito.
That's
and
right.
Not to counter any champion from Team Manila Eagles. So far, we have Kassadin, Nidalee, and Yasuo para sa 3 bans of Team Singapore Sentinels para naman sa pick first pick for Team Manila Eagles dito ay si Elise.
That's right. And like I mentioned a while ago, the first two bans and the third ban are all basically to protect Chawy. They want Chawy to, like in our head-to-head, we were saying Chalk and Chawy. These two guys are going to be the pillars for the team. They will have to carry their team to victory. And so far, MLE, Chalk, and Chawy have been performing pretty well. Although, of course, single person does already have one win. They want to make sure that they can secure another win as well.
Yes, let's see kung ano gagawin nito ng Team Manila Eagles na mag-go against team ng SGS having the lineup nila ngayon. And so far, same roles sila. MLE Hit going to the top lane, MLE Knut going for the jungle, Chalk for the mid lane, Yux sa kanilang AD carry, and then we have our support champion or support player na si TG para naman sa SGS, Ben W for their top lane. We have our jungler si Didan, Chawy for their mid carry, and Cryonics para sa kanilang AD carry. Plus, si Hallelujah na dati nilang top laner na ngayon, dati nilang jungler na ngayon ay kanilang support player na.
So far, looking at lineups of both Manila Eagles and the Singapore Senators, they each have a lot of crowd control coming from all the champions. Gragas has his barrels and of course his ultimate. Thresh has his Thresh hook, and of course Jarvan has his Cataclysm, which could isolate champions from MLE. But good thing that MLE was able to pick up Lulu to help protect whoever gets locked in Jarvan's Cataclysm.
Yes, at this point of time, hindi natin alam kung anong gagawin ng Team TT Esports Manila Eagles para kay Lulu. Possible na gawin siyang mid carry or possible na gawin siyang support for the Team MLE. But as we are seeing na pinili nila si Zed so far ngayon, if ever they lock in this champion,
They're still hovering over
yes,
that.
magiging support si Lulu, that's for sure. Unless they're trying to do something like ang mga bagong lineup dito, like gabi, we've seen lineup ng team IPT having the 4 AP carries dito, and so far for Team Manila Eagles, they got Leon as their support champion, and most probably mid lane ngayon ay si Lulu for the Team Manila Eagles.
Alright, so that's the MLE's lineup. They've already completed their picks, and this is actually, their lineup is very current. This is how the meta is right now. All of these picks are very commonly used. They're all strong picks and safe picks as well.
Yes, at medyo kailangan bantayan ng Team Manila Eagles dito ang lineup ng SGS, having Ziggs and Graga sa kanilang lineup. These champions ay sobrang pressure para sa team kahit sino makalaban nila dito, having the Gragas, yung kanyang sobrang effectiveness sa pagiging tank niya. And this is the time na makikita ko ulit siya since nung last week sa ating GPL. Dahil nung ating mga previous matches dito, laging nababan itong si Gragas.
That's
so far,
right.
for the team ng SGS, they got Gragas as a heavy tanker champion dito, and then he can just initiate and then use his explosive cast to make sure na may champion from Team Manila Eagles dito ang pupunta sa kanila, and then secure their dominance over team fight dito para naman sa lineup nila, having Jarvan as well para sa Cataclysm to secure another objective dito for locking any champion sa kanyang members, as well as yung poke damage coming from Chawy using Ziggs, as well as yung kanyang bomb dito, yung kanyang SS, mga kaibigan. And isabayan mo pa ng kanyang SGX, mga kaibigan, ang kanyang rocket, plus yung the box from Hallelujah. So far, knowing na yung lineup dito ng Team Manila Eagles, having Renekton, Elise as their jungler dito, and then we have mid carry na si Chok using itong si Lulu, AD carry para kay Yux, having Caitlyn, and then Leona.
Yes, it looks like we're going to see another Gragas in the top lane. So Gragas will be their top lane, and then their jungler will be Jarvan, and then Ziggs, of course, in the mid lane. Jinx in the as the AD carry with the Thresh. Very explosive lineup from coming from SGS. Definitely expect Gragas to be initiating most of the team fights with his barrel, probably to catch somebody out of position, and then they're gonna probably try to lock him in with the Jarvan or the Thresh ultimates.
So kailangan isaalang-alang din ng team dito ng SGS ay yung poke damage na kaya manggaling dito kay MLE Chok. Knowing na si MLE Chok ay gagamitin si Lulu, and this is the first time na makikita ko siyang gagamitin si Lulu sa ating competitive scene.
That's right.
So let's see how MLE Chok will dominate his lane against dito kay Chawy, knowing Chawy, both champion dito, Ziggs vs Lulu, have the poke potential against their opponent.
Yes.
But take note, MLE Chok have his shield para i-secure yung kanyang HP dito. And at the same time, the more na skill na kayang ibato ni Chawy sa kanya, the more poke damage he can give dito kay MLE Chok. And at the same time, once na magkaroon ng mga team fights dito, Team Manila Eagles can just secure any champion from against the team ng SGS dito. We have Lulu, we have Caitlyn. Caitlyn, once na mapasukan siya na kaya sino champion dito, like halimbawa si Gragas, Initiate, we have Thresh, and we have Jarvan as well. Wild growth coming dito kay Chok or kay Lulu just to save his comrades sa laban.
That's right. Although I think Jarvan's Cataclysm won't be very effective on towards MLE's lineup, especially since, like you mentioned, almost everybody in MLE has some sort of escape. Elise has a repel, Renekton can use his slice and die to
Yes, slice
escape.
and dice.
Lulu, of course, she has her speed boost. She'll probably have to use her flash for that. And then, of course, Caitlyn has her 90 caliber net to able to escape those.
Yes,
Of
and
course, the
even,
flash.
and
Yes.
even TJ can use his Zenith Blade and then para makatakbo dito
Yeah, to
from
go to
the team
another
members.
champion
Yes.
and to protect the members of his
Also,
team.
once na makapag-cataclysm ng maayos si Jarvan, if ever sakay na sino members from Team Manila Eagles, Leona can just use his Solar Flare to secure an objective once na pumasok si Jarvan dito. But I think it's a total waste of skill once na gamitin niya yung para kay Jarvan instead of using it to Jarvan, since nakakulong siya sa loob ng cataclysm
That's
niya.
right.
Just use it to other champion from team members ng SGS, not to secure yung follow-up na gagawin sana from team members ng SGS
Most
dito.
likely, I expect that TG to put a lot of pressure on SGS Cryonics on Jinx because Jinx is a cantrip champion. Every time he gets a kill or assist, he gets a speed buff, and they don't want him to chain his kills over and over.
And hindi nila dapat pabayaan itong si Cryonics dahil nga yung kanyang skill dito sa yung mechanics ng kanyang champion sobrang hirap mapigilan. Also yung kanyang traps and then yung kanyang mega data cannon dito, yung kanyang rocket. So nagbibigay sa kanila ng advantage once na magkaroon ng mga team fight. So far, this kind of lineup ng team ng SGS is all about poking the enemy and then initiate once they have the chance to secure another objective dito. Having alam mo sa lineup ng rapasin ko sa lineup ng SGS dito, they're all about doing or relying on the death sentence of dito ni Hallelujah na kapag kahit sinong champion dito matama ng death sentence, he will go in and then secure yung backup ng team members dito ng SGS.
Definitely expect Ziggs to do a follow-up using his Mega Inferno Bomb. Actually, if you're looking at SGS lineup, they have two mega weapons. They have a Mega Inferno Bomb and a Mega Death Rocket. So they really want to do mega tons of damage.
Yes. So, mega death tons of damage ang gagawin
Exactly.
dito ng team members from the SGS.
And a follow-up from Gagas with his explosive barrels.
Yes, pero we have to take note, yung damage output na magagaling sa team ng SGS dito ay kayang i-sustain ng team Manila Eagles. They have Elise, yung rappel ni Elise, we have Renekton, yung kanyang slice and dice, and then he can just use his Dominus once mabuburst siya ng kahit yung team members ng SGS. So what I think SGS may do sa laban nila ay secure yung objective nila to get Caitlyn as much as possible. Pero since we have Lulu dito para mag-secure ng HP from any champion ng team members ng MLE, I think mahihirapan ng team ng SGS na ma-secure yung kanilang objective na gumet or magpitas ng kahit sino champion from team MLE.
Yes. The lineup of MLE is more straightforward. They definitely just want to pick off. They've got two stuns coming from Renekton and Elise. Those will be how they'll probably initiate, including the Zenith Blade coming from Leona. They're actually both sort of dive comps. Of course, both Lulu and Caitlyn will be able to free hit from behind, and the front line from coming from Elise and Renekton should suffice to protect them protect the backline of MLE.
Yes, and ayan mga kaibigan, sa lahat ng mga ka-tune in pa lang, you're watching the Green na Premier League 2014 Spring Season. I am Gigi Sphere and I'm with
Jay.
Laban sa pagitan ng Team Manila Eagles versus the Singapore Sentinels. So far, nagkaroon na naman tayo ng post-game ngayon.
Yeah.
And the ice mo tayo ng ating mga setup dito. I think, so far with the match of Team Manila Eagles and Team SGS, Team Manila Eagles have to win this game kung gusto nilang humabol sa ating point system dito. Since so far,
Definitely.
3 out of 3 games nila dito ay natalo sila and they have to get at least 1 win against dito sa team ng SGS. So, if ever matalo nila ang SGS, siguradong ito na yung magiging comeback ng Team Manila Eagles dito since SGS is not
Definitely.
a team.
I'm sure everybody
Yes.
watching tonight are hoping that MLE win this so they can get back into the race for the playoffs.
Yes, and SGS is a team na hindi mo pwedeng maliitin dahil sila yung consistent na nagiging malakas since nung season 1 and then next season ng ating Garena Premier League dito. Pero mga kaibigan, game on na tayo, ang match between Team TTE Sports Manila Eagles versus the Singapore Sentinels.
Alright. So looking at the lineups, I think SGS will definitely have a slightly stronger level 1. Of course, Elise has a good stun which could still protect could give Emily also a chance of having good trades at the early stages. But of course, and also Lulu's really strong at the early game. But basically, it's pretty even if you look at it. So level 1 invade, I'm not expecting it yet. But let's see what they're gonna do about that.
Mapapasin mo sa ating mga mid-carries dito, both champion having the biscuit, rejuvenation biscuit, which means they are having the masteries dito. Halimbawa, 9 or halimbawa 9021, like masteries na ganon. Since they're reaching the biscuit as one of their masteries dito. So very good job sa pagkuha ng pagpili ng kanilang mga masteries dito, and they're trying to get the sustain from their team members. Also yung utility na nabibigay sa kanila sa laban ito. So far, mid carry both having the rejuvenation biscuit dito. And I think also isa pa dito yung ating gold advantage na makukuha nila kapag nagkaroon ng mga team fight or yung mga laning, para sa laning phase nila sa laban na to.
Yeah, the biscuit that they picked up because of the masteries is definitely very good for them to sustain better in lane. It gives them more HP because of the mastery, including a little mana at the same time.
Yes. And so far ngayon mga kaibigan, both champions sa bottom lane having a Doran shield, and they're trying to sustain as much as possible yung kanilang lane dito. But they have to take note na meron silang dalawang trinket lamang or dalawang wards dito, and it will only last for 60 seconds sa laban nila against the team members ng SGS. But take note as well, same lane dito mga kaibigan. Poke damage coming from brute champions dito. MLE choke in the SGS Chawy sa mid lane. Getting heavy damage mga kaibigan.
Yeah, good juke coming from Emily Chop, avoiding that bouncing bomb again from Ziggs. And right now, Emily decided to go for the red bumper, and Emily not was able to pick it up really quickly with the help of the bottom lane. And Jarvan also decided to do the same as well. So basically, it's a mirror movement in the jungle.
Yes, actually ngayon pa lamang napapansin ko na medyo nagbago yung playstyle ng team nila Eagles dito dahil they don't usually put wards dito sa lugar na to kung saan medyo nagiging defensive sila, and ngayon napapansin ko na kailangan nila magkaroon ng offensive playstyle lagi sa team members ng SGS. So let's see kung kaya nilang i-sustain yung ganitong klase ng playstyle until umabot tayo sa late dito. Mga kaibigan, na poke damage kay Emily SGS Chawy. Choke's about to go down dito. Last bomb to reach Choke sa mid lane. And with that, it's a first blood para dito sa ating kaibigan na si Chawy sa mid lane.
That was a bit a very dangerous thing that Chok did. He was teleporting back to base too near his tower, which allowed Ziggs to go very aggressive and was able to pick up first blood because of that.
Yes, sobrang pressure na binibigay dito sa mid lane. Itong si Chawy without wasting his time, using all of his mana to secure a buff. Also, a poke damage para dito kay Chok sa mid lane. Knowing na si Chok ay wala pa siyang shield o yung kanyang healthy picks dito mga kaibigan. Death sentence galing kay Hallelujah sa bottom lane, and drop backing up sa bottom lane mga kaibigan with the fire and flash out. Flash in from team members of SGS dito, and at least TG won't
one for one exchange.
Down mga kaibigan, and with that he got the blue and red buff. Good job para TG dito for getting the life of Didan. Problem for Didan dito na ma-clear kagad ang kanyang mga minion wave since nawala yung kanyang buffs dito.
Yeah, I think MLE has to be a little bit more careful, especially with that hook. They can't allow that too many hooks to hit them, because that would definitely cost them losses in the lane.
Yes. At mga kaibigan, so far ngayon SGS, Ben W versus H4T3 sa top lane. It's a very hard time para dito kay Hate kung nagkataon na nakapag-farm na sobra ang team members ng SGS dito na si Ben W. And at the same time sa bottom lane mga kaibigan, with 7-19 score dito ng ating CS, kita-kita na natin na napakalaki ng impact nung clash na nangyari kanina sa bottom lane. Mga kaibigan, Knut na top lane, trying to cock Ben W with the ignite coming from H4T3, and they're trying to chase Ben W. Ben W goes down. A kill para dito sa ating kaibigan na si Emily Hate sa top lane. I mean kay Knut. He was jungler ng team members ng MLE.
Good coordination coming from Emily, executing the gank perfectly and able to take out Gragas to the top lane. As we know, he's a very tanky champion.
Yes mga kaibigan, good job para Chawy using his bulk damage para dito sa team members ng SGS. Pero Cocoon mga kaibigan, with the last hit, he uses rappel. Sa mga pagkakataon na team Manila Eagles have to disengage sa laban nila against sa team ng SGS. SGS, very good job para sa team ng MLE dito. They got the chance to escape against those two champions sa top lane. And a waste of time para dito kay Chawy since hindi siya nakakuha ng champion dito, and a chance for Chok to push his mid lane.
Actually, I want to commend TG again because a while ago, because of that early 1-for-1 trade down in the bottom lane, TG was able to get the double buff from Jarvan, and because of that made Jarvan's gank a little bit weaker in the top lane, which allowed the top members of MLE to escape from that counter gank coming from SGS.
Yes, mga kaibigan, with the top lane, Emily Hate versus kay Ben W. The damage output na kanya ibigay dito. Body slam and then ignite mga kaibigan. Emily Hate goes down. He didn't expect that coming. Ang sobrang damage na ginagawa dito ng body slam itong si Ben W sa top lane. I think that's the reason why hirap na hirap dito si Hate sa top lane. Also, yung short na cooldown ng skill na yun ay yung ibigay sa kanila ng advantage sa mag-initiate ng kalaban. Mga kaibigan, with the Zenith Blade galing kay TG, and they're trying to use Hallelujah dito. The follow-up by a trap good job para team Manila Eagles. And this time they will go for the Dragon.
Yes.
A 6-minute mark, I think this is the first time na makuha agad ng team Manila Eagles ang Dragon sa laban nila sa kanilang kalaban ngayon against the team ng SGS.
Yes, but although they're going for the Dragon, they still have to be careful because Jarvan is just waiting in the wings and Ziggs could also collapse on this from both sides. Let's see what will happen here.
Yes, and so far mga kaibigan with the ward, yung team members dito ng SGS 3 vs 3, if ever 3 vs 4 champion dito, if ever they try to initiate mga kaibigan with the Dragon damage dito, TG is struggling against team members of SGS with the burst damage for Knut. At the same time, TG uses Ignite to at least kill si Jarvan dito, but 4 champions na dito ng team SGS ang nandito para mag-respond mga kaibigan. MLE Knut goes down. Sobrang mali yata yung pagpilit nila na paghuwa ng Dragon doon, and it's much better siguro kung nag-disengage na lang sana sila.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying a while ago. They were collapsed on because Jarvan was waiting there and MLE didn't have enough damage to quickly destroy kill the Dragon. MLE, the other members of the SES was able to get there in time and contest the Dragon and take some kills.
Yes, death sentence coming from team members of SGS dito with the Ignite as well. And then last click of that Dark Passage para dito kay Thresh. Sa bottom lane, very good job lalo-lalo na sa ating team members na si Hallelujah at si Cryonix.
Yeah. Jake is really strong even at the early levels because her rockets have very long range. They actually reach 700 range, which allows him to actually even outreach the range of Caitlyn.
Yes, and actually sa isang pagkakamali lamang kanina sa Dragon, ang nakikagad ng habol ng team SGS dito. And I think so far ang ating goal difference dito ay almost 1.5k in favor sa team ng SGS, and MLE is having a hard time na naman mga kaibigan the early part of the game against the team ng SGS.
Yes. Talking about the Dragon fight a while ago, it was actually, I think, poor coordination coming from MLE. Probably some of the members just wanted to engage the members of SGS, like probably D-Dan on Jarvan, but because the other members were continuing to take the Dragon and they were getting poked down little by Jinx, that's what caused them to lose that fight.
And I think kanina sa Dragon team fight, medyo napansin ko lang naman dito ng team nila Eagles, they didn't get the Dragon as soon as possible na makuha nila yung buhay ni Jinx. Kung mapapansin mo, naglagay pa sila ng wards dito and then magpwestuhan na maayos, but instead of doing that, sana ang ginawa nila dito ay kumuha na other team members of Team Manila Eagles supposedly get the Dragon na kagad, but they waste their time trying to get their position at ward para sa top lane mga kaibigan. With that, he saw Knut trying to gank the top lane against kay Ben W's top lane.
Actually, I think Knut was just there to help hate farm a little bit, provide some isolation to have Gragas move back a little bit. As you can see, Renekton now going back to base, probably gonna buy a few more items to get a little bit tankier so he can handle the Gragas a little bit better.
Yes, ang ating CS ngayon, 38-60 sa kay Caitlyn versus dito kay Jinx sa bottom lane. And sa item pa lamang makikita mo ang difference dito kay Leona or kay TG against kay Hallelujah. Ang laki ng item gap nila ngayon para kay Hallelujah dito getting the boots sa early part of the game. Medyo mahirapan sila sa bottom lane since kayang-kaya niyang matama dito ang kanyang death sentence and follow up by his flay, and then yung the box niya dito for this match.
Yeah, the early 2 kills on SGS Cryonix, Jinx was able to allow her to buy an early BF, which is now forcing the bottom lane of MLE to have a very difficult time doing good
Yes,
again.
flash in galing doon kay Hallelujah to chase Emily Knut, and with last minute rappel dito, but it wasn't enough to escape this 4-man gang galing sa mid lane ng team SGS. So with that mga kaibigan, 3-6 na ang score natin. I think Team Manila Eagles is having a hard time in sustain na kanilang mga leads dito. The early part of the game mga kaibigan, 3-6 na ang score natin in the 10-minute mark.
Yeah, Renekton's right now coming down to join them in the middle lane, but this could be very dangerous for him. Good thing he decided to go behind and instead just help protect the tower.
So tingin mo Jay, ano yung mali ng Team Manila Eagles dito? Kung bakit ganito na nahihirapan sila sa laban nila against the SGS?
Well, I think it's because it was really the Dragon fight that
Yes.
really cost them the early part of the game. They were quite even prior to that. In fact, they were in a slight advantage because they were able to steal the double buffs from Jarvan and actually kill a few other members, the Thresh, before taking the Dragon. But since, like you mentioned, they weren't able to take the Dragon fast enough and they were just a little bit hesitant on taking the Dragon because Jarvan was there, which caused them to lose more members and the Dragon as well.
Yes, and I think it would be much better kung hindi na lang nila kinuha sana yung Dragon kanina. They have to disengage to make sure na mabuhay pa sila, and they have sana yung advantage hanggang sa mga pagkakataon ito. Mga kaibigan, 1 minute and 45 seconds na bago mabuhay ang ating Dragon against sa team members dito ng SGS and Team Manila Eagles. So far, I think mid lane natin ay medyo nahihirapan si MLE Chok against dito kay Chawy. Pero MLE hate mga kaibigan sa top lane with the use of explosive cast galing dito kay BW. We have to use this Dominus dito para masecure ang kanyang buhay mga kaibigan. Death sentence, napakaganda pag death sentence mga kaibigan galing dito Hallelujah. And the rappel galing kay Knut. Unfortunately, with the 3-man gap from team members of SGS, he have to go down. And hindi enough yung kanyang rappel dito.
Yeah, he had nowhere to go because there were no minions in that area.
Siguro,
no dragon.
ang naging problema doon, napansin ko, well, hindi na siya mas-save ng kanyang rappel dito. And not only that, yung kanyang paggamit ng rappel, he used it to click at champion dito. I mean, ginamit niya yun sa pag-click ng isang champion kung kahit mabilis siyang bumaba. Unlike, kinik mo ito sa ground, may chance ka na mamili ng pagbabagsakan mo sa mga kalaban na nandun sa paligid.
I think he was hoping to flash out, but he realized that even if he probably flashed out, he was gonna die. So he just saving the flash for a better fight later on.
Siguro nga, nagbabalak siya ng mag-flash, but he didn't make it in time since sobrang dami siya binibigay dito ng Team SGS. Mga kaibigan in the mid lane, pressurize na team members dito ng MLE ay team members ng SGS, and I think you have to do something sa mga laban na ito against team ng SGS.
Yeah, so right now SGS has a pretty good gold lead, about almost about 3.5k gold lead in favor of SGS. This would be because of the Dragon and the CS advantage of the mid lane and the bottom lane as well. Alright, so MLE Hate deciding to back off as he can't seem to win the trades against Gragas here in the top lane. As we've seen many times before how tanky Gragas is, and it's so hard to really take down alone. You really need assistance from probably a jungler or the mid lane to take him out.
Yes, and ang maganda rito kay Gragas, he's a champion na kapag ginamit niya yung kanyang Drunken Rage, not only yung kanyang pag-reduce ng damage sa physical attack ay mababawasan dito, but also yung physical, yung magic damage dito from team members of the Team Manila Eagles. Mga kaibigan, they're trying to get Dragon Rappel galing dito kay Knut, but it wasn't enough to reach the Dragon and then jump in to steal that Dragon.
Yeah, they were able to pull the Dragon out farther away out of the pit, so the Repel couldn't reach it. And another thing is, I think it was also a good thing because if Knut went in to steal the Dragon, the gold that the Dragon gives at this early of the stage isn't really worth it yet. Alright, so right now, as we can see, the CS advantage of Ziggs over Lulu is quite big. It's about 45, and that's a huge number at this early in the game. Including for Ziggs, she has, because of her 2 kills and 20 plus CS lead, she was able to buy an early BT, and she's added a lot of stacks to it as well.
And I think having the BT para sa kanya, at the same time para kay Dukes dito na merong exhausted din yung kanyang pabilis. Siyempre mga kaibigan, an initiate guy from team members ng Manila Eagles. Explosive bomb galing kay Chawy to steal the blue buff. Unfortunately for team Manila Eagles, nawala na naman ang kanilang blue buff doon. And another objective para sa team SGS dito for getting that blue buff.
That's right. Good job from SGS Chawy, timing his Mega Inferno Bomb at the right time and stealing that blue buff from MLE. Hopefully MLE will be able to prevent that in the future.
Yes, in the top lane mga kaibigan, MLE Hate versus dito kay BW. Napaganda mag-explosive cast to make sure or secure ang kill dito with a death sentence in the box. Follow by his play. He's trying to escape against 2 members of team SGS. He used his Ignite to at least get the advantage, but it wasn't enough to damage BW's top lane. Very good job, lalo na kay Hallelujah getting dito si MLE Hate sa top lane.
Yeah, his hook was right on point. He was able to catch Renekton, and that prevented Renekton from escaping BW. Alright, so here in the middle lane, MLE are trying to push the middle lane, but although the wave clear of MLE is pretty decent right now, it's just not enough to push this tower. And I think the members of SES will be able to protect this tower still.
Yes, and so far ngayon, ginagawa ng Team Manila Eagles as much as possible mag-stick sila and then get their objectives, like getting turrets or getting another turret dito. And as much as possible, they have to get the Dragon at least once sa laban nila against sa team ng SGS since 3-8 ang score natin at ang ating goal difference ay almost 6.5k. Then big mga kabig, namin nila Solar Flare, flash out para kay Cryonics, and with that, Cryonics na-burn ang kanyang flash dito for team members of Manila Eagles, and also yung SS ni TG. You have to wait for another 60 seconds or 40 seconds dito para sa laban nila against sa team ng SGS.
Yeah, good job from Cheesy. He laid down the ping ward. He was able to take out one of the wards in the red buff of MLE. They definitely need to invest in more wards. They can't allow SGS to take control of their jungle. As the middle third of MLE is already down, this is definitely gonna give SGS a prime position of map control in the jungle of MLE.
Yes, and so far ngayon, SGS is trying to get a second third turret sa mid lane ng team MLE dito. So, team Manila Eagles fight sa laban ay wag hayaan na bigyan sila ng poke damage against sa team ng SGS. They got the second tier turret sa mid lane. Good job passing ng SGS. Death sentence mga kaibigan for Emily Chok. It is the death sentence for the team Manila Eagles dito sa mid lane. The zap and then super mega hyper dapper lahat na ng mega hyper. Kami wave coming dito kay Jinx. They got a kill mga kaibigan. 3 for non-exchange. And SGS in a 16-minute mark getting the inhibitor and third tier turret sa mid lane ng team Manila Eagles.
Yan yung sinasabi ko kanina eh. They have so many mega inferno weapons that are gonna blow up the MLE members. This is very
And
dangerous
actually,
for them
they
right
got
now.
Emily hit with that sentence and then follow-up skills by Team SGS dito. SGS Chawy got the kills para dito sa team members ng Manila Eagles. If ever they push this lane, sobrang early matatapos ang laban nito mga kaibigan. Solar Flare galing dito kay Leona. He used his Solar Flare TG and then that sentence coming from Hallelujah with the follow-up damage coming from team members of Manila Eagles. Emily Chok with the Glitterland shutdown. Itong si SGS Cryonics. Emily Chok is trying to secure yung kanyang Glitterland sa tumama sa kanyang kalaban, but so far MLE trying to chase team members of SGS. The rappel and then use his first skill mga kaibigan. Kukun follow-up by team Manila Eagles with the ignite from team members of MLE. Good job para kay Chok for getting that kill.
Actually, good job for Knut because he was able to land 2 stuns consecutively and that was able to allow Emily to pick up 2 more kills.
Yes, very good job para dito. Kay Knut and so far item mga kaibigan. Tignan natin ang ating gold lead dito from team members of Manila Eagles and SGS. As you can see, halos 8k na napupuntang gold dito kay Ziggs. And sobrang daming damage ang nabibigay niya once na magkaroon ng mga team fight dito. So far, 5k, almost 5k para kay Chok. And then 8k para sa kanya, 3k ang kanyang gap dito. So, katumbas nito ay isang Rabadon's net cap.
Alright, so up in the top lane, Emily Hate is all alone there. Yeah, you better be careful as some members of SGS has already spotted there. You see Hallelujah trying to lay out some damage on Hate. Hate's just walking away from it. Not too painful yet. He can definitely tank the damage coming out from Thresh at this part of the
He's
game.
trying to show with yung team members sa Manila Eagles mga kaibigan. Zap galing dito kay Cryonics and they're trying to chase TG. Solar Flare guy for TG para mag-respond with that. Cataclysm from Dadan. Dadan killed. Nakuha nila ang buhay dito ni Jinx. They're trying to get the first battle of this game against team members sa Manila Eagles. 2 vision ward mga kaibigan. Sabi ng Team SGS dito, 2 is better than 1.
Yeah.
And hopefully, mas malaki yung magiging vision mga kaibigan. SGS trying to get the first battle of this game as much as possible. They're trying to secure yung kanilang objective dito. And 2 seconds left bago mabuhay ang ating Dragon for their next objective. If the Eagles didn't do anything or can't do anything to secure another steal para sa team members of SGS.
Yes, definitely SGS is taking the lead definitely because of all the objectives they're picking up. They were able to pick up all the dragons so far. They were able to pick up the first Baron because they were able to catch TG out of position and instantly burst her down. MLE is trying to respond now here because they're trying to pick up the dragon for themselves to get them to lower the gap of the gold lead right now. As you can see, SGS has about a 10,000k gold lead, and this is a huge amount of gold at this early in the game. It's only 19 minutes in the game, and SGS has already tons of gold. This is equivalent to already 2.5 Infinity Edges for SGS. So that's a lot of item damage coming from SGS because of that.
And SGS is trying to get their objective mga kaibigan. Magkuha ng third tier team members ng Manila Eagles to win top lane. As much as possible, damage output coming from Cryonics. Too heavy for Team Manila Eagles to handle. Solar Flare galing kay Leona, and they're trying to chase team members of SGS, but that's only used to secure the objective ng Team SGS dito. But they're trying to get the inhibitor for the team members of Manila Eagles. Whatever happens dito, if ever flash in galing kay Hallelujah, good job para sa pagkagamit ng kanyang death sentence. Emily goes down. 4 members of Team Manila Eagles dito natitira. Cryonics, the rest of his party is trying to get the turret, Nexus turret mga kaibigan. Emily Hate can't do anything Skin advantage. Makabawi sila nila lagi ng SGS mga kaibigan. With the bodies down galing kay Ben W. Rektahan na mga kaibigan. Trabaho lamang walang personal. Dito for team members of SGS. The Mega Death right mga kaibigan from team. For Cryonics, very good job for team members ng Manila Eagles. I mean, ang SGS for winning this game against the SGS. 5-40 ang ating score.
In 20 minutes.
A win para sa SGS.
That was a surprisingly fast game. That game turned around really in the Dragon. I think MLE is really a good team. The only problem is they keep making these early game mistakes, and this actually cost them the games. In their previous games, they did an early invade, and that cost them the game. Now, they did an early Dragon, and this again cost them a game. They have to be more careful with these objectives.
Yes. What I think yung problema ng Team Manila Eagles dito ay yung early choke na nangyayari sa kanila. Usually, ang mga players na-choke kapag mid-game, kapag late game, but Team Manila Eagles, choke agad sila sa early part of the game. Kita-kita mo naman na nakuha sa kanila yung Baron or yung Dragon kanina sa early part of the game, and that loosened their objective or their tawag dito, momentum to secure yung kanilang mga win dito sa kanilang mga team fights. And unfortunately, Team SGS got the opportunity to push their lanes first tier turret, and kahit si MLE Hate na lumalamang at nakakasabay sa top lane ay walang nagawa to secure yung kanilang objective.
Alright, so who do you think would be the MVP for this game? Of course, it would be somebody from the Singapore Sentinels. Who would be your opinion for the MVP? Who would you suggest? Who do you think is the MVP for Singapore Sentinels?
For the MVP, I think for the members of SGS, I would give the MVP to Thresh or kay Harley Luyar, since Harley Luyar is doing very well, lalo na sa kanyang mga death sentence. Especially, medyo nagulat ako na ginamit niya yung kanyang Dark Passage to secure vision kanina kay MLE sa top lane, and with that, Team SGS won the match against the team ng MLE. Again, congratulations Team SGS, especially kay Harley Luyar for doing a very good job sa laban nila dito.
I absolutely agree with you in terms of giving it to Harley Luyar, because of Harley Luyar's plays and his hooks, death sentences on MLE, they were able to shut down MLE after taking the early lead. Because of, like you mentioned, MLE kind of choked after the Dragon fight. SGS does not allow MLE to get back into the game with so many picks coming from Hallelujah, and even also one time that Jarvan was able to catch Leona trying to put a ward in the Baron. This didn't allow MLE any chance to get back into the game and allowed the SGS totally snowball the rest of the game.
Yes, and hopefully sana sa mga susunod na laban ng Team Manila Eagles, they have to do something about their standing ngayon. So far 0-4 na sila, and then for Team SGS, I think 2-1 na ang kanilang score dito.
2-1.
And again, congratulations SGS for winning the game against the team ng Manila Eagles. So bago ang lahat, you're watching the Garena Premier League 2014 Spring Season. I'm your shoutcaster, I am DJ Sphere.
And I'm Jay.
So ngayon, bago ang lahat, anything na gusto mo sabihin sa ating mga summoners since magtatapos na tayo, stay tuned lang kayo, meron pa tayong laban yata mamaya after nito, right?
That's right, there will be still one more game tonight. Go ahead and take a look at the schedule. Alright, so the last schedule for tonight, or the last game tonight, will be the Neo Full Lewis versus the Yo Flash Wolves. Now, the Neo Esports Full Lewis have only played one game so far, and sadly they did not win that game. While the Yo Flash Wolves have already claimed one victory, I believe, and have also one loss if I'm not mistaken. So definitely, these guys need to get this win so they can start climbing up the ladder as well, as these teams are still at the bottom at the current standings. Alright, so magpapabati muna tayo sa mga people who are always watching.
Unaan na.
Alright,
para
sige.
matapos na natin ito.
Alright, so
Wait lang. Bago ang lahat, syempre gusto ko lang pala imbitahan lahat ng mga summoner na sumali sa ating Challenger Tournaments. Take note, hindi nyo kailangan maging Challenger para sumali dito sa ating Challenger Tournaments. Any tier or division can join. Kahit mapa-bronze ka, mapa-silver ka, mapa-unrank ka, as long as meron kang 30, as long as level 30 ka, then meron kang enough champion to join ang ating tournament draft dito. So far, sa darating na Sabado at Linggo, marami tayong Challenger tournaments dyan. We have sa Mindanao, we have Iloilo, the Cypher Cup, we have the Siberia, we have War God sa Murayta. Dyan sa Linggo, nandyan ako. Kita-kits tayo sa mga pupunta dyan. And then, also yung ating tournaments sa Pangasinan, sa ating Cyber 168, bagong opening dyan.
So ngayon pa lang dapat start practicing para manalo kayo ng mga prizes. Of course, syempre if you join this tournament, gusto mo manalo. So ngayon pa lang, as you know, we already announced it. So dapat ngayon pa lang practice na kayo para handa kayo manalo.
Yes, at bakit ba sila sasali ng Challenger Tournament? Bakit Challenger Tournament ang ibig sabihin, ang title nun? Simple lang, since Challenger Tournament ay isang way para sa inyo na makasali sa Pro Gaming Series if ever na kayo yung team na umabot sa top 1 and 2 sa NCR, top 1 sa from the other regions, you will get the chance to join the PGS, and then if ever kayo manalo sa PGS, you will also join the Green Premier League next season.
That's right. Alright, so I'll go ahead and greet some of the people who always watch our show. Today would also like to greet in as usual and his LPHM admins, including his brother Adrian. Of course, I would like to also greet my friends Potpot, Ipe, and Maki, including my girlfriend.
Yes. Good evening sa
How
lahat
about you?
ng mga pinababati ni Jay dito. Siyempre, bago ang lahat, gusto ko batiin si Dave, si Roger, lahat ng friends dito, si In, ayan, si, sino ba? Ang LPHM, Tambayan. Ayan, si team ni Roger, good evening. Roger, good evening. Kita-kits tayo sa Wargads kung pupunta ka. And also sa lahat ng mga summoners na nanonood, thank you very much.
That's right.
Sa lahat ng mga meron suggestion, feedback, gusto nyo sabihin about sa amin, negative man o positive, thank you sa lahat. And then, hihintayin lang namin, message lang kayo or mag-forums. Just, sabihin nyo lang kasi as much as possible, we have so many things to learn pa sa ating
we'll check it out later para we can implement those your suggestions or feedback about us.
Yes,
we also
and,
like to thank you also for also following our show regularly. Please also invite your friends to watch para they will also learn more about League of Legends, as we would like to help entertain you and also educate you a little bit about the game.
Yes, tomorrow nga pala, Pro Gaming Series.
That's right, tomorrow.
This coming Sunday as well. So, Saturday, Sunday. And if I'm not mistaken, laban dito ng Team CM Storm and the Manila Eagles. And also, we have Team Imperium, if ever. And I forgot what the other team dito. Yes, War Gods. So, yan. Tungayan nyo lang sa laban nila bukas and this coming Sunday. So, stay tuned lang kayo din sa same channel,
Twitch.tv. Starts at
Twitch.tv.
5 p.m. tomorrow. So, tune in tomorrow, 5 p.m. We'll be here again tomorrow and we'll be shoutcasting you those games.
Yes, and yun lang. Thank you very much again sa lahat ng mga nanonood. You're watching the Green Premier League 2014 Spring Season. I am DJ Sphere.
And I'm Jay.
Thank you very much again. Stay tuned lang kayo dyan. May laban pa mamaya. See you tomorrow.